talk about your success with English in 2016, right? We want you to be successful. The beginning of the year, you've got 12 months. That's enough time to make a huge improvement in your English speaking. For sure, you've got plenty of time. This can be the year where you make that big jump in your speaking fluency, where you make a big, big improvement in your English pronunciation and in feeling strong and confident every time you speak English. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to answer your questions. Now, I see we had problems with the sound. People were saying no sound. And it seems like, yes, now the sound is working. So I apologize for the audio problems at the beginning. Seems like it's working okay now. Let me just check the, looks like we got it okay. And it looks like everybody's coming in and they can hear me now. Very good. Okay, so let's talk about it. First, I'm going to tell you what's happening in Effortless English this year, 2016. How am I, AJ, going to help you speak English successfully this year, more successfully, make the big improvements? My job is to help you and support you. Obviously, I speak English already. So as a native speaker from the United States, my job is to support you and help you so that you can learn my language and feel strong, feel confident when you speak English, understand spoken English well, and speak with very clear pronunciation and great fluency. And those are some of the three big ones for speaking, right? As you know, our system is first focused on listening. Listening first is the most important. It's the foundation. It's the most important part. Listening, listening, listening. You must be able to understand what other people are saying to you in English. So lots and lots of listening. Then on top of that, the next step, or the next layer, the next part, is fluency, so that you can say what you need to say. You can communicate your feelings and ideas fairly quickly, fairly confidently. You might make mistakes. That's okay. The point is just to communicate your ideas and your emotions in a clear, understandable way. If you make some mistakes, it's okay. You make some grammar mistakes, it's okay, as long as you are clear. And then I think the third layer, the third part, is really pronunciation. And I recently, the last few years, I realized that pronunciation is so, so important. Because, again, if your pronunciation's bad, the other person will not understand you. So you can't communicate. So even if your grammar is great, your vocabulary is great, you're very, very fluent, you can speak quickly, but your pronunciation's terrible, that's a bad situation. The other person still will not understand you, even if everything else is perfect. On the other hand, if you have clear pronunciation, very good pronunciation, but you make some grammar mistakes, it's really not a big problem. The other person usually will still understand you. If you use the wrong verb tense, you say ate instead of eat, or you say eat instead of ate. It doesn't matter. If you say the words clearly, the other person will understand. They'll understand your general meaning. So pronunciation is actually very important, because if you say it and the other person has no idea what you said, that's a big, big, big problem. And so that's why this year I am finally making a full pronunciation course. American pronunciation. I'm American from the United States, so this will be an American. We could really say a North American pronunciation course. I am planning it now. I'm going to record all of it next month. I'm going down to Thailand to an audio and video studio, and I'm just going to record the whole thing in about 2 weeks. Very long days, lots and lots of work, but I'm just going to get it done quickly. Boom! It will be a complete pronunciation course. I'm going to teach you everything about pronunciation. I'll teach you how to speak faster with clear pronunciation. I'll teach you important techniques that you can use every day to improve your pronunciation. I'll teach you listening techniques to help you improve your pronunciation so you can really hear the sounds of English correctly. I'll teach you how to say individual sounds correctly. You know, different people have different problems with different sounds. For some countries, R and L are difficult. For some countries, the TH sounds can be quite difficult. For most countries, there are different vowel sounds, I, a. That can be difficult. So I'm just going to teach all of them. I'm going to teach you all of the common difficult sounds. And I'm going to teach you how to say them correctly and practice them correctly. Then once you can say those individual sounds, that's not enough. Most pronunciation courses, the weakness is they only teach the individual sounds. But you don't speak little short sounds. You speak in words, and actually you speak in phrases, right? Several words pushed together. That's how we naturally speak when we speak fluently. So learning the pronunciation of just one sound like R or L or TH, that's not enough, because you need to use that sound in words and in phrases. So you got to be able to say that same sound when you're speaking a whole phrase, a whole sentence. So I'm also going to teach you techniques and methods and give you lessons and practices to help you speak with better pronunciation, with full words, full phrases, full sentences. Very, very, very important. I'm going to teach you how to speak with good rhythm and intonation. Rhythm is like drumming, you know. It's when we pause, when we speak fast, when we speak slow. English has a natural rhythm. Every language does, and they're different. The rhythm of Japanese is quite different than the rhythm of English, and they're both different than the rhythm of Spanish or Italian or Russian or whatever. And so you need to learn that English rhythm. This will help your pronunciation so much. I'm going to teach you that in the course as well. In a couple months, I'll do another webinar, and we can talk specifically about the pronunciation course when I'm ready to open the course. So it's coming soon. It's a big, big new thing coming to Effortless English this year. Very excited about it. I'll also be writing another book, finally. Actually, I'm planning to write more than one book this year. We'll see. I'm giving myself a big challenge. But the first book I'm writing, finally, is a book about giving presentations, public speaking and presentations in English. How can you do a great job? Because I know so many of you, when you speak fluently, you then want to go to a more advanced level. And maybe you go to a conference, or maybe you have meetings at work where you have to give a presentation at work, or you need to give a speech somewhere in English. And I know that that is a very, very scary, tough thing, and that you get nervous about it. And there are a lot of techniques to help you do a good job so that you speak better, but also, most importantly, with public speaking, that you feel confident, because the fear and the nervousness, they are the big problems with public speaking, as you know. So to give a great presentation, the first thing you must do, the biggest thing you must do, is to overcome the fear and nervousness. Once you're relaxed and confident, giving presentations is actually quite fun and quite easy. I love doing it now. When I first started, it scared me so much. I was so nervous. My hands would shake. It was terrible. Now I'm excited about it. I love it. I feel like an entertainer. I have a lot of fun when I give speeches. So I'm going to teach you how to do that too, so that you can do it in English and, again, have fun and enjoy giving presentations and give powerful presentations. Those are the things happening, a couple of the things happening this year. In fact, they're happening very soon. Personally, my wife and I, we are going down to Thailand next month. Actually, next week. Next week. Guess I better pack. A few days, less than a week. We're going down to Thailand. As I said, I'm going to go down there and do some work. We're escaping. We're running away from the cold weather in Japan because I don't like it. I need sun. The dark, cold weather makes me depressed. And I've been sick. I've had this cold for a couple of weeks. So we're going down to the tropics, down to Thailand, one of my favorite countries. And we're going to enjoy the sun and the heat and the great food down in Chiang Mai, Thailand. In Chiang Mai, Thailand, I will be recording the pronunciation course at a professional studio. And when I finish that, I will then start writing that book, the presentations book, also down in Thailand. So if you're down in Thailand, if you're in Thailand, in Chiang Mai, or even Bangkok, we'll go through Bangkok at some time. Watch my Twitter because we can meet. We'll try to have some meetings in Chiang Mai and in Bangkok. If we take a vacation to another place in Southeast Asia, maybe Saigon, maybe Laos, I don't know. I'll tell you on Twitter, and we'll do a meeting with Effortless English members and fans also. So that's it. That's what's happening. Finally, let me just say that I'm going to be doing these webinars, this kind of webinar, more with VIP members. Our VIP program, it's our monthly membership program, and it's really for our most motivated members, people who are very excited to improve their English. And these are people who want to get new lessons for, from me, maybe for 9 months or 10 months or 12 months or for years. Our most successful VIP members, they are members for years, 2, 3, 4, 5 or more years. So it's really for the most serious members in terms, not serious emotion, but I mean serious about improving your English. And I'll give you a link to join the VIP program. You can join it. You can try it just for $1. I highly recommend it. You can see me in live webinars. I'll be doing them almost every month if I have a good internet connection. And VIP members can ask me questions. Sometimes we do different kinds of webinars, sometimes using this system where you can ask me questions on chat. And sometimes with VIP members, we have voice webinars where you can actually talk to me. I can hear you, and the other members can hear you. And you can give me your ideas or ask questions with voice as well. So VIP membership is really great for those who are very sure they love Effortless English and they want to improve quickly, and they want to do it for 6, 9, 12 months or more. All right, so that's all I have to say for the moment. I'll go ahead and put the information about VIP up here. I think you should be able to see it in a minute. Hopefully you'll see on the right side over here, try VIP for $1. You see it? Yeah, it's coming. And then you have a little button, try it now. So I'm going to give you a deal. Yeah, just $1 to try it. You can try it for 10 days. That's $1 for 10 days. And when you try it, you'll get 2 full units. Actually, you get more than that. I think I send you a bonus one as well. You'll actually get 3 full units in 10 days. So it's a really great way just to see if you like Effortless English and to try the system, because each unit has a mini stories, or some of them have movie lessons, conversation lessons, point of view grammar stories, commentaries, videos, audios. Everything has text. So that's a lot of stuff you get for $1 in 10 days. After 10 days, if you want to, you can continue, and it's $37 every month. I keep giving you new stuff, including webinars like this, especially for VIP members. If you don't want to continue, it's no problem. Just send an email. Just reply to one of the emails and say, I want to cancel. And that's easy. You'll be canceled in 1 day, and everything's fine. So it's a good thing to do. Give it a try. Just click on that try it now anytime while I'm talking. Now, for the rest of the time, I'm just going to answer your questions. So I said I wanted to just tell you what's going on, which I've done. Now it's time for me just to answer questions from you. And wow, the chats are coming in very fast, so hope I can read them. Try to keep your questions short because the chats are moving so fast. It's hard for me to read them because we have so many people. Okay, let me see. Good Lord, they're going fast. Try it now. VIP is amazing, says Joelma, who is one of our VIP members. Okay, let's see. Is there a way to record this webinar? No problem. This webinar is being recorded right now automatically. It will be recorded and I will put the yeah, it'll be on YouTube, but and I'll put the recording onto our website. I'll give you a link on Twitter or also on email, so you can go and listen to this recording as many times as you want. No problem. AJ, you were fantastic. Thank you. Can you recommend me some books to improve my English? Yeah, well, sure. There's lots of books, but when I talk about books, I prefer that you read books that you enjoy. Okay, so it's hard for me to recommend one specific book because I don't know what you like. So I'll give you an example. Maybe you like mystery books, right? You like mystery stories. Well, if you like mystery stories, then go find some mystery stories in English. And it depends on your level. If you feel your reading level is kind of low right now, start with children's books, like for 8, 9-year-old children. So something I recommend, The Hardy Boys or Nancy Drew. Those are nice. I read those when I was a kid, when I was about 9 years old, 8 years old, something like that, even maybe 7 even. I started reading those Hardy Boys books. So they're really great books. They have like 20 or 25 books in the series. Hardy Boys is for boys and Nancy Drew for girls. If that's too easy, you might try one. If it's too easy, then you could go up a little bit level. And if you feel like you want something very higher level, adult level, you could read things like Stephen King or Ken Follett, or there's so many authors out there. The point is, read things that you enjoy. Maybe you don't like mystery. Maybe you like romance. Read Daniel Steele. Read teen romance books, things like that. Maybe you like fantasy. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, which Lord of the Rings is a little more difficult. Harry Potter would be easier. Maybe you don't like fiction at all. Like, I don't read fiction much anymore. I used to when I was younger. Now I read nonfiction. That's also fine. If you like science, read science books or magazines, popular science books or magazines. Maybe you prefer history, so find books about history in English and English and English. And when you can, also get the audiobooks, so you can read and listen at the same time. Amazon.com is a great place for this. You can go to Amazon.com and buy books, and many times they also have the audio version. So you can buy both, and then you can read and listen at the same time, which is really cool. So, my best advice then about books, I'm not going to tell you a specific title. Instead, I advise you read books for fun that you enjoy. If you enjoy it, you'll read more of them. The more you read, the more you will improve your vocabulary, the more you will enjoy it, the faster you will improve. Okay. Okay, let's see. We got lots of questions coming in. Good Lord, I'm trying to read them. There's Penguin Readers are amazing. Yes, that's a good recommendation, by the way. Penguin Readers, good recommendation. And there are other companies that do readers. They're called guided readers. And what they do is they create books at different levels. They're and usually they're easier versions of more difficult books. And they come in all different levels. So the Penguin guided readers, they're great. You can choose try a level, see if it's easier or if it's too difficult. And then you can find your level quickly, read a lot of the books in the series, then jump up to the next level, read a lot of those, and just work your way up. So I like guided readers. I used guided readers and still sometimes use guided readers for Spanish when I have time. Okay, let's see. Boy, these questions are coming in fast. Do I do Skype lessons? I am not currently doing private Skype lessons. The simple reason is I'm just too busy. I'm too busy to do one-on-one Skype calls. I would like to add that service at some time, because I know a lot of people want to talk to a native speaker, like an American, Canadian, Brit, whatever. They would love to do that, either one-on-one or maybe in a small group, 2 or 3 people. So eventually, I hope Effortless English can add that as a service, but at the moment, we don't. The best thing I can do for you is if you join the VIP program, join VIP, and then you can talk to me during webinars, or at least listen to me more during webinars. And then also in our VIP program, you can join some of our member groups, because some of our VIP members, they have Skype groups and they talk to each other in practice. It's really great. All right, let's see more comments. Oh, please, what's your Merrick asks, which of your methods do you use to learn Spanish? So my Spanish, I'm a very slow Spanish learner because I get very busy with running Effortless English. And what I typically do is if I have a trip coming, I'll spend a few months and I'll study Spanish a lot during a couple months. And then when the trip's over, then I kind of just stop doing it. It's not the best thing to do, but that's just what I'm doing right now. So I did this in the beginning of the year. I studied for a few months and then went to Spain and hiked around. I haven't studied any Spanish at all since then. But still, I had a good experience. I made some small improvements to my Spanish, actually more than small. I made some good improvements to my Spanish. And mostly what I did is I listened to lots of mini stories in Spanish. And I also listened to my own audiobook, the Spanish version of my book, Effortless English, Learn to Speak English Like a Native. In Spanish, is Inglés sin esfuerzo, and there's a Spanish version that also has an audio version, and I just listen to that a lot as well. And if I decide to try to improve my Spanish a little more, I'll go back to those same methods again. All right, want to buy a pack of English with your 7 rules. So the 2 main things you can do if you want to get started with Effortless English lessons, courses. On our homepage, we sell Power English. Usually, I recommend Power English as the first course to do. It's probably the best starter course for Effortless English. Most people start with that, effortlessenglishclub.com, effortlessenglishclub.com. Hurry, because I'm raising the price. In fact, we've already raised the price a little bit. Your other main choice is the VIP program. The VIP program is more if you are sure, you love Effortless English, you know you love the method, you know you want to do it for 6 months, 9 months or more. You're quite excited and motivated. You're ready to do at least 1 hour every day listening to my lessons. Then the VIP membership program is great. Just click the link over on the side there. Okay. The pronunciation project, the pronunciation course is going, VIP is really focused more on fluency, confident speaking, also a lot of psychological training, leadership success training in the VIP program. It's mostly focused, however, on fluency, on that fluency in listening. The pronunciation part is, I'm going to give VIP members some special deals with the pronunciation course. So if you join and you stay in the VIP program, when the pronunciation course comes, you're going to get special deals and discounts and free stuff connected to the pronunciation course. You're going to get free pronunciation lessons. You're also going to get really good discounts on the more advanced, the bigger pronunciation course. So good VIP members, I always give them deals. When I do something new, VIP members always get discounts. They're always the first ones who can try my courses. So I like to take care of you. Okay, how can I improve my listening? Sometimes I can understand words, but not full phrases. Okay, fair enough. These things are normal. And the key things with listening is, one, just keep doing it as much as you can. If you're not hearing, if you're really not understanding, that's where using the text becomes important. So that's why all our lessons have text, have a PDF text guide, because sometimes you listen and you can't catch it. You can't figure out what something is, especially some fast phrases. And that's where it's useful then to go in, listen and read at the same time so you understand everything 100%. After you understand 100%, then you don't need the text. So just close the text and then go back just listening only. And this is also why I recommend using book and audiobooks together. Thank you, AJ. When are you coming to Colombia? Oh, that's a good question. I want to come to Colombia. Colombia, I want to go so many places. So I'm always saying I want to go to these different places. But when I decide to try to work on my Spanish again, Colombia is where I'd like to do it. So my idea, if I can find the time, would be to go down to Colombia, stay for a couple months at least, as much as I can. 2-3 months would be best. The more would even be better. And find some local conversation partners, so I'm just chatting in Spanish several hours every single day with local people. And then also doing extra listening and things like that. That's my plan. That's sort of my... And also, of course, I just want to see Colombia. I've heard great things about the people of Colombia, the country, everything. So very much want to go to Colombia. And I've also heard that Colombians speak very clear Spanish, that the Colombian accent, the pronunciation is very clear. And I've been told, I don't know if it's true, I've been told that even Mexican television shows will sometimes hire Colombians because they have such good, clear pronunciation. So, sounds good to me. How about South Korea? Well, South Korea is quite close to us. I'm still waiting to see. My book might get published in Korean. There's a company that might publish it as a Korean translation, but I'm not sure because I'm waiting to hear back from them. If they do that, I'll come to Korea certainly to promote my book. Boy, they're coming in fast. Whoa, okay. Slow down, slow down. Geez, they're coming quickly. Okay, I'm having a hard time reading right now because they're coming so quickly. Slow, please slow. Yeah, I'm just gonna move it. Good Lord, this one problem with this, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to wait for a second. Okay, don't type any new stuff yet. Give me a minute to read it. Good Lord, too fast. Why don't you come to Uzbekistan? Well, we'll see. I get requests for many, many countries. So we'll see what I can do. Someday, perhaps. Okay, good Lord. What's that? Are you coming to Europe? Let me talk about this. So we have a couple live events coming this year. I forgot about that. Actually, one live event this year, and then one in the following year. 2016. We are doing a live event. So it's a 3-day event, a weekend in Chicago, the city of Chicago in the United States. It's going to be a small event, so kind of a VIP level event. And we're just going to get together and speak English for 3 full days. We're going to speak English all day. Lots of fun social stuff. I might do some fun movie lessons or mini story lessons live, some things like that. But it's going to stay light and fun. My family members are coming. My mom said she's going to come. We'll see. Kristen from Learn Real English, she's probably coming, hopefully, if she can. Possibly my sister might come. Tomoe will be there, of course. I'll be there. I'll let you know more. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's really a great way to connect. And it's another great thing about the VIP program. Sometimes you get to meet face-to-face like this. So more information and registration information about Chicago is coming soon. The first day is August 19th, Chicago, USA. We chose Chicago because it's in the middle of America, right? It's in the middle. So it's for anyone living in North America, Canada, USA, even Mexico, Chicago's easy to get to. From Europe, you can also get direct flights to Chicago. And from North Asia, you can get direct flights to Chicago. So it's pretty convenient. It's a very large city. Crikey, they're coming in fast. This is a weakness of YouTube. Let's just quick. Should we just pause it? I'm gonna see if I can slow this down. Questions are coming too quickly, guys. So I can't read them. Oh, TOEFL. I think someone asked about TOEFL. Am I going to do a TOEFL course? You know, actually, my cousin has recorded a TOEFL course. My cousin Philip Norris. Some of you follow him on Periscope and Twitter. And he will be launching that course, I think soon. I think he's planning to do it in the next couple of months. So I helped him a little. I gave him some advice, but really it's his course. He's calling it AMP English. And he's going to get a website going soon, and he's going to launch the course. I will certainly tell you when it's ready. Yeah, stop. Everybody just stop typing for a minute so I can actually read. Because you're going far too fast. So please stop typing on the chat room for just a minute, and this will give me a chance to catch it, because it's so fast I just can't read it. Far too quick. And what about IELTS? So IELTS, same thing. I think his course will be good for both TOEFL and IELTS, and also TOEIC. That's the idea. Okay, I just can't see these chats. Slowing down a little bit. Good, kindly. How can I be confident? Well, I think the main thing is, you know, in Power English, especially Power English, the Power English course, that's the one on the homepage, effortlessenglishclub.com. Power English really teaches you how to train yourself, teach yourself to be confident when you speak English. I mean, that's why it's called Power English. It's why it's a powerful course. It teaches you fluency and listening, for sure. But the really powerful part of that course is that it's teaching you a psychology system too. It's helping you destroy nervousness so that you feel strong and confident and relaxed every time you speak English. That's why I recommend starting with Power English course, unless you are already feeling very, very strong about effortless English. Then join VIP. Do I enjoy teaching? I do enjoy teaching. Yes, I do. I especially enjoy teaching live, face-to-face. Lots of fun. Copy the screen, then you can read. That's not a bad idea. Try a screenshot. I'll try that. Good idea. I'll just do a screenshot and see what we got. Yep. All right, good suggestion. I just did a screenshot. When will you make a seminar on Europe, says Anatoly? Well, in 2017, so not this year, but next year, we're planning to do another VIP meeting event in Roma, Italy. And Julia and Max, two of our Italian members, in fact, two of our Heart Leadership team members, are going to sponsor that. They're going to organize that event. But that's 2017. I'll tell you more about it when it gets closer. Okay, let's take another screenshot. That's a good technique. Clever. Good suggestion. Is the English film useful? Well, yes, it is. in my book, I described something called the movie technique. And it's a method for using movies, English language movies, of course, using movies to learn English, to improve your listening, and to improve your speaking, and even to improve your pronunciation. So if you're interested in using movies, especially if you're ready to be more advanced, then get my book and read about that technique. I think on my YouTube, I also have a YouTube video about it. Let's see. What do you think about English of Vietnamese? Well, it just depends. I go to Vietnam a lot, and I'm working with a school down there called PASO. I was just there a few months ago, and we had some great events. And I met a lot of Vietnamese who speak English quite well, that are using effortless English. We had some great events. We had a lot of fun. I met a lot of very good English speakers down there. So I can't say I don't know about all Vietnamese. I know that some Vietnamese have difficulty with English, but a lot of them are using traditional methods or other methods. But I think that I saw a lot of really great success down there. I'm looking forward to going back eventually. We have a special course with PASO. It's an online course just for Vietnamese students. Very exciting. Max, here's a comment from Max. Yes. So Max is going to be, he's the one of the organizers of our Rome event, probably the main one because he lives in Rome. Very cool. All right. Well, whoever that was who gave me the idea of doing the screenshot, thank you, because that's a great idea. It was going too fast. I didn't see your name, but good suggestion. Yo, another screenshot. Okay. Do you know about Samarkand? Is that in India? Is that in Northeast India? I could tell you what, I'm going to do a Samarkand. I'm going to do a Samarkand. No, it's in Uzbekistan. I was wrong. Sorry. Located on the Silk Road. Oh, very nice. Looks nice. Looks pretty. Cool. Maybe someday. I like to travel, so we'll see. It's possible. How do I go from B2 to C1, from B2 to C1? Okay, here's the deal. I don't really care about those numbers, the B1, C2, because they don't really mean much. It's the same like with TOEFL scores. I understand if you have to get into a university in America, you need a certain TOEFL score. But otherwise, don't C1, D6, well, doesn't matter, okay? Don't worry about that stuff. Just improve your listening, improve your fluency, improve your pronunciation. Focus on that every day. And perhaps even more importantly, just enjoy it. Just enjoy English. Enjoy reading in English. Enjoy listening to English. Enjoy learning it and improving it. And, don't worry about what specific level you are, number you are, or anything like that. I know a lot of people like to discuss these things, but in the end, they don't really mean much, and they're not really specific enough. And it's sort of that school thinking. We always want to rank and have a level, but I really don't like that. I prefer the real world. Can you communicate your ideas? Can you make connections with people in English? That's what's important. How can I improve my vocabulary skills? Well, really, vocabulary is best improved, I would say, 2 ways. First of all, through reading books. So again, novels. Just as I talked about before, reading books for fun. And again, using audiobooks when you can. And then the movie technique is also a nice way to improve your vocabulary, especially those idioms and slang and casual English that you don't see in writing. So books and movies, good ways to improve vocabulary. It's talking to myself. Will talking to myself help improve fluency? It's not a bad idea, yeah. You can talk to yourself, sure, why not? You can just talk out loud to yourself, have imaginary conversations with yourself in your head, sure. Why not? All right, let's do another screenshot. Okay, do you love animals? I do love animals. I like the little guys. I do indeed. Okay, I want to increase my energy. Good posture, big smile. If that's not effective, what can I do? Well, the main thing you can do to increase energy is to move your body. You can do something as simple as go for a walk. Put the lessons, get your phone, whatever, your little smartphone, and connect it to your computer. Put some of the lessons on your phone or whatever, iPod. Put on your earphones, your headphones, and go outside and go for a walk. That will keep your energy up, just moving by walking. Walking is such a simple thing to do to keep you energized. It's harder to fall asleep, or it's harder to get sleepy when you're walking. When you're sitting, it's quite easy, right? When you're sitting, it's easy to, but when you're outdoors walking, you will usually keep that energy higher. So that is probably my simplest method for keeping high energy while you're learning English. Am I coming to Iran? Well, I'm quite hopeful. I'm hopeful these stupid sanctions are about to be finished finally, and that there'll be normal business relations and normal relations with Iran, between Iran and the United States. If that happens and Iran opens up for America and vice versa, then absolutely, I'd love to come to Iran. So it's hopeful. It looks much better than it did last year or 2 years ago. So I think the situation looks quite hopeful. We just have to wait and see what happens. And it's out of our power. Okay, what about the GRE? Okay, so the GRE would be quite similar to studying for anything. Read lots of books. Now, the GRE, you're going to have different subjects. Now, one of those subjects is math, and I'm not going to give you advice about learning math because I'm not an expert on that. So you have to figure out the math yourself. But for all the other topics like science and history, and English, literature, that kind of stuff, all that can be learned from reading. So reading, just choosing lots of different topics. So read about biology, read about chemistry, read about history, read about American government, whatever the topics are. And you don't have to read textbooks, though, which can be quite boring. You don't have to read GRE books, which I'm sure are quite boring. Just read books. Read books about American history. Read books about these different topics. Read magazine articles. Usually they're a little more interesting than just a GRE book. And if you don't know what the GRE is the high school exam. Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry, not GRE. That's GED. GRE is the graduate exam, graduate level exam, graduate records examination, I believe. That's for going to grad school, master's, PhD. So I've taken the GRE. So again, you have. So sorry, let me answer that question again because I was thinking GED, which is for a high school diploma in America. GRE has two parts: verbal and math. Verbal and math. So it's quite simple. For the math part, I kind of focused on basic algebra and geometry, and I did quite well on it. But again, you have to figure out the math part yourself. Sorry. But for the verbal part of the GRE, read. That's all you got to do. Read books. Read books on lots of different topics. That's all you need to do. You don't have to do a lot of GRE books and stuff. Not necessary. Maybe do one so you're comfortable with the test, but otherwise reading. Magazine articles, newspaper articles, and books, novels, things like that, especially nonfiction. Have you ever been in Turkey before? Yes, I have. Timo and I have both been to Istanbul. We live in Antalya. Ah, you'll like it. I told all my friends about you. Everybody in my parent wants to know you. Visit us, please. I would like to go back to Turkey. Like I said, we've been only to the city of Istanbul. Great food. And we met our wonderful member, Kaula, there. Met her at Starbucks and had a very nice time with her. I'm sure we'll go back again sometime. There's also some place in Turkey where there's great kite surfing. I can't remember the name right now, but I like to kite surf. And they have one of the best kite surfing spots in the world in Turkey. You can mute the chat to stop it. Can I do that? I'm afraid if I try to mute it, that it's just going to take it away completely, and I won't be able to see it. Ah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I can mute it for a minute. That's also another smart. Boy, you guys are smart. I'll mute it for a second. I'll read it, and then I'll turn it back on again. Okay. Okay, here's a good question. I've been studying for over 15 years in English, but I can't speak fluently. Can I achieve until now? Can I break my chains? Yes, you can. You definitely can. I understand the frustration. I've met so many people, so many Effortless English members before Effortless English. They were having so many problems, and they studied years and years and years with no results. You have to trust the process. So I would recommend that you focus on 1 full year of Effortless English every day for 1 hour or more. 1 hour or more every day for 1 year. Do that, I promise you, you'll make more progress, you'll improve more in 1 year with us than 15 years before with the old methods. I promise you that, you will. Don't just accept my word. Go on Twitter, ask some of our other members that have been successful, ask them, they'll tell you exactly the same thing. So it doesn't happen instantly, you know, you need a few months, maybe 6 months before you really start to see the big changes, but just do it. I promise you. You will get big results. Doesn't matter if you have problems in the past. Doesn't matter. Do I speak Japanese now fluently? What do you think? No, I don't. I have not been studying Japanese at all. So I do not speak Japanese. I don't. Where can we find a list of the lessons of Power English course? I don't think I have a list of all of the lessons anywhere. Every one of them? Yeah, I don't think so. You want to see my wife? Okay, you want to say hi? Someone says, here's your wife. Oh. Okay.
Hello.
That's my wife, Tomoe, who is Japanese. Power English and VIP together. How? Certainly, you can certainly do Power English and VIP at the same time. Many people do. With VIP, you could do 2 lessons per month, and then each month you could also do 2 of the Power English lessons. You would go a little more slowly on Power English, but you could just mix them that way. And maybe it takes you 6 or 8 months to finish all of the Power English stuff, and then you just continue with VIP. You can certainly do both. Okay, let's keep reading. Okay, talk about connected speech, linking. I will certainly teach this in the pronunciation course. Connected speech or linking sounds, that's just, I sometimes call them mash-ups. Mash means to push together. It's just like, for words, it's basically the same as a contraction, right? We say can, not, not. But if we push those together, it's can't, right? Cannot, can't. We're connecting two words and making them into one. Well, we can also do this with other bigger words. Want to, wanna. I want to do this. But if you say it very fast, want to, wanna, it becomes wanna. Maybe the most common one is going to, which we use for the future. Gonna, it becomes gonna. Going to, gonna. And this is why, you know, in English we speak, not just English, but certainly in English, we speak in phrases, right? Not just word by word. We don't pronounce every word perfectly and clearly. We don't pronounce each word individually, right? That sounds weird, right? Because what I'm doing right now. We actually connect some words together in natural phrases. In natural phrases. In natural phrases. Hear it? In natural phrases. It's like those three in natural phrases. When I say them fast, it almost sounds like they're one word. They get connected together, those sounds. The end of one connects to the beginning of another. That's why rule one of effortless English is speak in phrases, these groups of words, because that's the real natural pronunciation. So you will get that anyway in all of our courses, but in the pronunciation course, I'll certainly have at least 1 or 2 lessons specifically about linking or connecting or mashups, whatever you want to call them. Good question. Am I vegetarian? I'm not vegetarian anymore. I'm not. No. Okay. Can I read romance novels for adults? Yes, you certainly can read romance novels for adults. They have them for beginners. Also, there's, I think, Sweet Valley Kids. Sweet Valley Kids. I'll write it into here. Sweet Valley Kids. Sweet Valley High. Those are 2 easy romance series. But then if you want to get into adult, you know, level, you know, I think Danielle Steele, I don't read romance books, but Danielle Steele is super famous. So I know there are other ones too. I have to ask someone else about specific recommendations, but Danielle Steele is a very famous romance writer. I think she's American, maybe British. So yeah, read romance books. If you like romance books, read them. So I see why part of the problem is people are typing in the same question like 30 times. Okay, here's a question. Are your videos on YouTube good enough for learning English? You know, if you don't have any money, you can certainly do all of this with my YouTube videos, with my podcast, with my book and the audiobook. The book is only, I think Amazon actually is doing a discount now. It's only $6.99, $7. My audiobook is $7.99, so $8. So between those two, you know, $15, you could use the book and the audiobook together and study it and read it and listen to it every day. That, along with all my free videos and free podcasts and audios, you could certainly make some great improvement just with all the free stuff I have. So certainly, you know, if you have the money to spend, it's more convenient to get a course, to join VIP or Power English. You know, I made those courses because they're very convenient. Everything's in one place, very easy, very convenient. But yet, if you just don't have the money, or you gotta be really cheap, use the free stuff. That's why I make the free stuff. What about my religion? I don't talk about religion or politics. I have my own opinions, of course, but I just don't think effortless English is the place. So that's just a general thing we don't do in our community. We don't talk about religion and politics. It just creates fights. You know, in terms of politics, I'm an American citizen. I'm happy to talk about or argue with people about American politics with other American citizens, but otherwise, but not publicly and certainly not in effortless English. And the same goes with religion. All right, I think I can unmute it now. Turn on in the chat again. PayPal's not working. I'll check about that. Here they come. I've got time for a few more questions. Okay. Let's see what we got. How to improve my grammar, because I think grammar is very useful for academic writing, because now I'm in college. Aha! So you're talking about written grammar, because first of all, you need to realize, I'm sure you do, spoken grammar and written grammar, very, very, very different, super different. Written grammar, especially in school, is very formal and very specific. Spoken grammar is very loose, very relaxed. A lot of the most common spoken English breaks the grammar rules constantly, all the time. That's why TV and movies can be such good learning experiences for real speaking, because we don't follow all those stupid grammar rules when we speak. Some of them, but not all of them. It's very loose. But academic writing, meaning writing for school, is a very different thing. And then the rules are very strict. The best thing you can do, this is what the research shows. Research shows the #1 way to improve your written grammar for writing, is to read a lot, to read a lot of books, specifically to read a lot of books. So again, we're back to reading for fun, reading novels, or reading nonfiction books, whatever you enjoy reading. Newspapers are fine, whatever your level is, whatever you enjoy. But reading will eventually improve your writing. It's just like, listening improves your speaking eventually. Same thing, eventually, lots and lots of reading improves your writing. I learned to write English just by reading a lot. As a kid, I read a lot. I loved to read. And then my writing just naturally became good. I never really practiced it. Jorge, hello. Do you like your voice? Yeah, I like my voice. Do you like my voice? That's more important. How to download my mini stories, effortlessenglishclub.com. Start with Power English, effortlessenglishclub.com. Can I put Arabic subtitles to your 7 rules? Yeah, go ahead. You answered 5 of my questions. Great. Just reading here. What else do we have? Okay, here's a good, interesting question. When I speak alone to myself, I can speak long phrases and I can say all my ideas quite easily. But when I actually speak to a real person, I get kind of a block. My phrases become short. Yeah, see, that's the psychology of it, right? What's the difference? When you're alone, you're totally relaxed. Totally relaxed. There's no pressure. When someone's standing in front of you, that's when the psychology starts happening. This is why in Power English, we teach psychology. This is why in VIP, we teach psychology, because it's not only English ability. You have to overcome the nervousness, or sometimes it's not a big nervousness, but it's tension. You kind of just, something freezes a little bit and your ability goes down. So there's a lot of techniques I describe in my book about this, especially the first part of my book, the first half. Power English and VIP train you in some of these things as well. So you just got to start training yourself to be more confident, so that when you're actually practicing by yourself, get yourself in a more excited state, get yourself feeling more energized. And then when you speak to someone, try to get yourself a little more energized too, so that you can overcome that nervousness. And also, too, there's nothing wrong with short phrases. You can speak quite well with short phrases. You can communicate well, so don't worry about it too much. Just do your best. Keep improving. Lots of repeating questions. No wonder. All right. I'll take a couple more questions. I'll open it back up again. And all right, stop it there. Let's see what we got. How much time did it take your wife to be fluent in English? I think it depends on what by fluent, but I don't know. She made a big improvement in a year or two, right? A year. But she was living in San Francisco, so she was married to me, so talking to me a lot. I don't teach my wife because then we don't fight. But she still gets to talk to me a lot. Do you recommend memorizing vocabulary the traditional way or just through stories and novels? Just through stories and novels. No, I don't recommend memorizing the traditional way. I just find, even myself personally, like say with Spanish, trying to use flashcards or all those systems, I always forget it. Long term, I forget it. So even if I have like something on my iPad, one of those flashcard systems and all, supposed to be scientific in it, but I can maybe remember the words for a week or two using those systems. But then, a month or 2 months later, I forget them. I forget most of it so fast. And it's super boring to do those things. I find instead, if I just learn phrases and words from a book, from a story, something that's real, that has some meaning, that I remember the word much longer. I still forget some, as will you. You'll still forget some, but you'll forget much less when you just learn stuff from novels and from stories. Give us some tricks to help us speak more confidently. So one of the main tricks, and you can go to my YouTube channel, which is just my name, AJ Hoge. Put it down here. YouTube.com. One of the key things to do to get yourself more confident is to really get yourself physically excited. So you play excited music, you jump around, you make all these excited movements, then you start listening to English. And then maybe you could even start practicing English, talking in English, but using big, energetic movements, a huge smile on your face, really getting yourself excited, super energized, super excited. And do this every day. So you train yourself to feel excited when you speak English, to feel energized when you speak English. And when you do this every day, you gradually will start feeling more confident every time you speak English. So it's simple and it works. Do I have a teacher who uses the effortless English method in Turkish? Not that I know. I know my friend Oscar teaches Spanish, and I used his lessons, but I don't know anyone doing Turkish. I don't. My wife does Japanese. How do I take a big step to move from where I am to go to the next level? Well, one of the key things to make a big jump is just time. It's to use the method. So, follow the 7 rules, follow everything I say in my book. And then just do it for several hours every day. That's the other key part, right? I mean, the more time you do every day, the faster your improvement. If you can do 1 hour a day, that's okay. That's the minimum. But if you can do 4 hours a day, you're going to improve 4 times faster. That's just the way it works. It's obvious, but it's true. If you can do 6 hours a day, man, you're going to make a lot of progress. Julia, one of our great members, she used to do like 6, 7, 8 hours a day when she started. When she was doing Power English, she would just do all day English. She's a teacher, so she would have the summer off, and she would just do the whole summer of like English, English, English all the time, all day long. And that's how you make huge progress quickly. So there's the method, and then there's just the energy and time you put into it, and that's really your job to do as much as you can. And I know I'm busy. I'm with Spanish. I only do little bits, and I only do it a few times. That's why I haven't improved more quickly with Spanish. But I just have a lot of other things in my life. For me, that's okay. If I wanted to improve Spanish a lot more and a lot faster, then I would need to put more time in. Everyone has to decide this. Everyone has their own life. Everyone has different goals. Everyone does not have to be super fluent in English. Maybe you just want to travel and you just need to be so-so. And that's kind of my situation with Spanish. I really don't need to be super fluent in Spanish. It would be nice, but I really don't need it. I just need to be able to travel and get food and go to hotels and taxis and all that basic stuff. Maybe some really basic chatting with local people. And now I can do that. I make lots and lots of grammar mistakes, but I don't care. If I wanted more, I would have to put in a lot more time. The same for you. So you have to decide that yourself. There's not one right answer. If you want to speak like a native speaker, then you got to put in more hours each day. If you just want a basic level of fluency, then you can do less. Someone spelled Danielle Steele for me correctly. Thank you. It's difficult for me to pronounce the TH sound. Yes, indeed. And there are two TH sounds, right? There's a soft and a hard. There's the, or there's th. Let's see if I can get my microphone. So there's the soft one, like thought, and then there's that, which has a little more of a buzz. It's a harder sound. But do your best. And more than do your best, when the pronunciation course comes out, I'll teach you exactly how to do it. You can also actually have a video about TH on my PayPal. On my YouTube channel. You can go check that out for free. All right, a couple more, guys, and then it's time for me. All right, I'll turn it back on for a minute. You can add some more questions if you like. Okay, pause it again and let's see what we got. When is your book about presentations coming out? Good question. I plan to write it in March. It'll need to be edited and double checked and proofreading, and I have to rewrite. Let's say August. Let's say September. September, maybe. It takes longer than you think. Because I have to write the first time, then I have to take a break. Then I go back and I read it. I find a lot of mistakes. I write it again. Then I have to hire an editor. They check it. Then we have proofreaders. They check it. After all that's done, the book has to be designed, the cover and everything. And there's lots of steps, actually. So hoping August. The pronunciation course will come out faster. We can actually get that done quicker. How can I increase my fluency level? You can also do something called shadowing or tracking. That's where once you can listen very well, you can also listen and then try to speak at the same time. So what you hear, you say. You try to say exactly what you hear. using exactly the same pronunciation at exactly the same speed. So use an audio, and you have to practice it many times with the same audio. The first time you try this, it will feel difficult, I promise you. But keep using the same audio. Eventually, you'll learn it very well, and you'll be able to hear it and say it at the same time, or almost the same time. That's a great way to improve your fluency because it forces you to speak faster. Could you make a course about successful business startups? Yeah, perhaps. I'm actually thinking that I have a couple books I want to write about English, a few more about learning English and speaking English. But eventually I plan to write books about other topics also, including business. So thanks for the suggestion. I did 3 power English lessons, then I stopped for 2 to 3 months because of exams. And I want to start again now. Should I start from the beginning? Yeah, I recommend, review. You could go a little faster with those first 3, since you already did them once. But I do recommend listening to them, maybe a few days on each one to remind yourself to review and then continue on. When do you come to Germany? I've never been to Germany. Sometime. I've always been. My wife's been to Germany, but I never have. I should. My mom's family's from Germany. I like to study, go abroad to study. My teacher said that security of America is not good. Oh, I would say that's a big statement. It depends on the city, and it depends on the neighborhood, just like most countries. So I don't think you can say safety. Actually, from what I've seen, crime has actually been going down in America. It just depends on which city you go to. So I think America would be perfectly fine. You're going to see more crime in a very large city like New York than you would in a smaller town. It's true everywhere in the world almost. So just do your research. I don't think there's any need to be afraid. The key thing is that even in a city like New York, it's not really the city that's the problem. You have to just look at the neighborhood, right? So you have to be smart and know local people know which neighborhoods are bad. They don't go there, and which neighborhoods are fine. So do your research wherever you go. So I think America would be fine. Canada would be fine. That's, if you want North American English, those 2 countries would be the best. Of course, you have the choices. If you're wanting a place where English is spoken, your other choices would be the UK somewhere. I'd recommend, if you're doing UK, is to probably England would be best, just because it's got a more neutral or a more international, more well-known accent. You've got the 2 big accents that are most well-known are the North American accent, USA and Canada, and then the British accent, which is mostly English. Those are the 2 big ones, but Australia would be fine too, I think. So just I can't really tell you because I think they're all interesting for their own reason. All right, I'm going to take a couple more questions and then finish. It's actually night here in Japan. I'm in Japan right now, by the way, and we're going to bed soon. Give you a couple minutes here to post your questions, and let's see what we got. Okay, we got some more. I already answered the question about Iran. Good. Here's a good question. I want to answer this question. How can I prevent myself from using simple English when I speak? Why do you want to do that? Don't prevent yourself from using simple English. Simple English is great. Speak with simple English. Simple English is powerful. Simple English is easy to understand. Simple English is the most clear. There's no reason to avoid it. I use simple English, not just with you, with everybody, with my family, with my friends, uh, with native speakers anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter. Simple English is usually the clearest and the best way to communicate. There's no reason to try to force yourself to use complicated words or longer sentences. It's not necessary. Most of the great speakers and many great writers even use simple English. They use the most common vocabulary words. They use short, simple sentences. That's the best, clearest way to communicate. Be a great communicator. I think simple is great. In fact, in my public speaking book, I will talk about this. I will tell you, use simple, direct, plain language, plain English. It's the best. Here's a good question. I am in France and I have two daughters, ages 10 and 8. How can they improve their English? Well, I'll tell you the very best way for them to improve their English. You might not like this answer, or maybe you will, I don't know. The very best way for your daughters to improve is for you to speak English to them. For you to improve your English and then start speaking English to your daughters. You could start very simply, and then you could do it more and more and more. Maybe you have a couple hours a day where you speak English to them only. Maybe you have a few days a week that are English days, and you only speak English to them. Our great member Max from Italy, I mentioned him. He's going to be helping organize our event in Rome next year. This is what he's doing with his son, and his son is starting to speak. It's so cool because he's putting on Twitter about his son's progress with English. And in the beginning, his son had that silent period that I talk about, right? Where Max would just speak English to his son all the time. His son is little, smaller than your daughters. But Max would just talk to him in English. And Max said, and this is totally normal, that his son would not speak English for a while. He just would listen. And he was understanding, right? He started to understand more and more and more, but still didn't want to speak. So Max was very smart. He did not push him. He did not make him feel nervous about English. He just let him continue listening. That's what you should do with your daughters. Do not push them to speak English. Don't force them to, because then they're going to hate it. And you're going to make them all nervous about it. There's no need. Just speak to them. Let them speak French to you. It's okay. But you speak English to them, right? This is called crosstalk, by the way. Like, for example, let's say you choose 3 days a week. You will speak English to your daughters, only English. You speak English to them, only English, only English, only English. Let them answer in French. It's okay. Don't force them to use English. Just let them. They can speak French to you, but you always speak English to them. And if you want to do more than 3 days, even better. And let them just get to listening for a long time. You could also encourage them to listen to English stories or videos or books, whatever, if they want to. But again, don't push them too much. Important with kids, don't make it stressful for them, or they're going to hate it. Let them just relax and listen, and they will speak when they're ready. So that's my best advice for kids. Is there another way to buy your lessons? I don't have a Visa card right now. Well, the PayPal link apparently is not working at the moment, but you should be able to use PayPal to buy our Power English lessons. I will check on this. Is anyone else having a problem with PayPal? Just leave me a comment. Let me know. I'll have to check on that PayPal thing. PayPal, I too, sometimes when I try to buy things using PayPal, there are problems. PayPal just has its issues sometimes. So let me know if you're having problems with PayPal, and see if we can get that fixed. So I'm going to take a couple more. I'll turn the chat back on again. 5 more minutes, actually. We're going to end in 5 minutes. Okay. How can I speak quickly? Again, I think that the shadowing or tracking technique I mentioned, and I'm going to teach this in the pronunciation course even more, but that's where you listen and then speak at the same time, or try to. In the beginning, you probably can't do it, but you try. This is a great way to improve your speaking speed, your fluency, make it faster, because it forces you to speak at the same speed as the native speaker, as me or whoever's on the audio. So it's great training. How to speak without thinking, I think it's also a nice technique for that. But the other key to speaking without thinking is just lots and lots and lots of listening. Because the more you keep hearing the same words repeated again and again every single day, they go a little deeper, 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 and eventually they become more automatic. But it takes time. It takes many months. I usually say 6 months. You need to do that daily listening, repeat lots of repetition, deep learning for a good 6 months. And of course, keep going after 6 months. Don't just stop. Is it normal to listen to lots of podcasts, one after the other? Sure, that's fine. If you enjoy that, do it. Sure, there's lots and lots and lots of interesting podcasts out there. So podcasts are another great way to get audio that's free. I have a podcast, but there's so many podcasts with so many different topics. Find the topics you like and listen to them for sure. Very, very good. Have I visited Morocco before? I have not visited Morocco. My friends, Kristen and Joe, from LearnRealEnglish.com, they went to Morocco. They loved it. They had a really good time. They said it's a nice place. So sounds like an interesting place, but I've never been myself. Never been to Africa, in fact. I've never been anywhere in Africa. But someday. Never been to South America either. 2 whole continents still waiting. How can I improve essay writing? Boy, yeah, that's very academic. So when we get into essay writing, we're now talking about a very academic style of writing. Again, I suppose the very best way to improve essay writing would be to read a lot of essays. Now, academic essays are boring, so you probably aren't going to want to read a lot of academic essays. But you can read other things that are a similar style. For example, editorials in a newspaper. An editorial is an opinion article, right? So they're different. Well, there used to be. Now journalism is almost all opinion. You can't really trust it. But there are specific kinds of essays, basically, that are purely opinion, that are called editorials. And those are essays. They're opinion essays. And you can read a lot of those. I mean, every newspaper has them. Every magazine has them. Most magazines. So find topics you're interested in that you like and read lots of editorials. You can do searches online for editorials and read them online. So reading, you'll start to get a feel for style and how to do it well. That's probably the best way. And then you can even kind of copy the style of editorials that you like. All right, I'm going to take one more, guys. Last question. The very last one, and then we're done. Here we go. Let's check it out. I think it's the last one. Is it a mistake? I'll answer two. Is it a mistake to say, do you joke me? Well, if you want to say if you want to say it to someone like they're joking and you want to ask them, the best way to say that in English would be, are you joking? Are you joking? You could say, are you joking with me? It's longer. Are you joking with me? But the simple, short way to say it, are you joking? Are you joking? So that's the actual, that's a correct way to say it. Are you joking? I'm creating a fan video game to promote your lessons. Well, that'll be nice. Thank you. Please put a link in there to effortlessenglishclub.com. Thank you. Okay, guys, I think that's all. All right. So this offer for the VIP, you'll see it over here. Try VIP for only $1. Now, again, the two main programs I have, Power English and VIP. So the VIP offer you see right there, Power English. This is the website. I'm going to write it here. effortlessenglishclub.com. Which one should you do? I would say if you are sure about Effortless English, you love Effortless English, and you are ready to work hard for over 6 months, 6, 8, 10, 12 months or more. You're really ready to put energy into improving your English this year. Join VIP. It's just $1. If you're not sure, start with Power English. That's on the homepage there, effortlessenglishclub.com. That's a great one to start with. Or if you just don't want to, you really just want to see what it's like, you want to kind of test it out, again, the VIP trial is a great way to do it because it's just $1. You get 3 full units for just $1 in 10 days. So that's a great way you get a lot of different kinds of lessons, and you can really get a feeling for what it's like and what the lessons will be like. So that VIP trial is really a great way to try Effortless English and be sure you like it, and then keep going. So that's all. So again, you just click over there. It says try VIP for $1. Click that little orange button, or just go to effortlessenglishclub.com. I've enjoyed talking with you today. Thank you, everybody, for all of your questions. This was recorded. I will put the recording on our website, and on Twitter and Facebook, I'll send a link to the recording so you can watch the recording anytime. Thank you so much. Let me just finally end with our code, because the Effortless English code makes our family, our international family, special. And this is the code that we all follow together. Number 1, we do the right thing. We do the best we can. We show each other we care. So we do the best we can. What is that? I guess that's usually number 1, isn't it? We do the best we can means that we just try our best. We do our best, but we also know we will make mistakes. It's okay, right? We know that other people make mistakes. It's okay. We just try our best, giving our best effort, giving as much time as we can, giving as much effort as we can. We do the best we can. Number 2, we do the right thing. We don't cheat. We don't cheat. We don't lie. We don't steal. We don't insult people and say bad things to people. Obvious. We do the right thing. And number 3, we show each other we care. So we say nice things to each other, to other Effortless English members. If other Effortless English member is having a problem, we encourage them and try to bring up their energy. If an Effortless English member is successful, we're happy for them. We congratulate them. Yay, we cheer for them. Right? So we act like a family and we show each other we care. That's our code. Those are our 3 most important values in our Effortless English community. We all agree to follow those. Okay, then try the VIP. Oh, it's ticking down here, but try the VIP program. Just $1. It's a great way to just try the program and see if you like it. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you. Mwah. I've enjoyed talking to you. Happy New Year. Let's make 2016 your year for success with English. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.